another episode of Shit Hotels of Australia. This time I'm on the road, not out of a sense of adventure and not out of a need to go for my employer. This time I'm on the hunt for some internet coverage. Yeah, because in my little hometown of Dover, NBN Co has decided to upgrade our internet coverage. And that's going to take 10 days. And as someone who works from home due to a restricted ability to drive, that makes it a little bit difficult. So I won't be driving, and I definitely won't be flying. Today, I'm travelling on the bus. So the bus leaves from Dover at 6:43 and the legroom is less than Jetstar. It's not a very comfortable trip. Heading out of Dover now, we can see the transmission tower, the NBN tower, the one tower that handles all of the internet, all of the phones for the area. Now the road is reasonably tight and windy and picturesque, and oh yes, if you're talking about an outside dunny, got a bit of a hike. Heading further up the road here, and you'll see a minute now, you'll see exactly how windy this road is, definitely for the first half, which would explain in some way why it takes so long. This bit is coming down into the, I wouldn't call it a town, I wouldn't call it a hamlet, a collection of houses which is called Glendevy, as though it's some kind of reminder of the Scottish Highlands, when in fact it is nothing of the sort. Coming now into the first stop in the little town of Geeveston, which if any of you have watched Rosehaven, you would recognise some of this architecture. This stop gets on normally about another 15 or so passengers onto the bus, making it a little bit crowded. It's standing room only by the time we get to Huonville. We're coming now into the outskirts of Huonville, the main centre of the Huon Valley, and crossing now over the Huon River. Coming up to the aptly named Lost Captain bar and restaurant, and we pull into our second major stop of the trip, and we offload here about 25 to 30 passengers. Heading out of Huonville, I'd like to acknowledge the sponsor of 20 of the first 38 videos of this channel, Tassal. I no longer work for them. And we're now at Mount Nelson. We're about 5 k's from the city, and this is where the horror of the trip begins. On a good day, you're lucky to take less than 30 minutes to get down into the city. Slow-moving traffic ahead, eh? I think we wouldn't have realised having been stuck in it for 15 minutes already. Well, after 2 hours on that bus, finally here in Hobart. So we'll take a stroll up to the office, and it's 8:45, normally start work at 8 o'clock. So you can see that travelling on the bus to work is not ideal when you've got to work 8 hours a day, particularly as you've got to catch the bus at 4 o'clock in the afternoon to get back home. So yeah, not very convenient. So tonight and tomorrow night I'm staying here at the Ibis Styles on Macquarie Street in Hobart. Peak hour traffic at the moment, so it's a little bit noisy. Also peak hour traffic in the morning, but I'll be getting up and ready to go to work then. So let's go inside and check it out. Right, so this is room 1007, 1007, top floor, Ibis Styles, a fairly typical Ibis Styles room with the mural, queen size bed, 2 bedside tables, little bench, nice comfy chair rather than the plastic chair, luggage storage, kettle, fridge, and wardrobe with safe, ironing board and iron, spare blanket, hanging space, and compact bathroom. Nice walk-in shower with a choice of shower heads, which is really great. I really like the raindrop shower head. I'm not a fan of the dispensers. So yeah, pretty good room. Rack rate for Accor members, $294 for the 2 nights, so just under $150 a night. And then we're going to have to work out what we're going to get for tea. I didn't film the full length of the pool because there was somebody swimming down the far end, but yeah, nice pool setup here on the 3rd floor. Laundry, and again one of those issues that the machines take $2 coins, but if you don't have them, you've got to go all the way back down to reception to get them. They could have had a change machine in here. It's not really that difficult. So I'm actually in 2 minds about whether to feature this on the Shit Hotels in Australia channel or the On the Road series on the other channel, because spoiler alert, I have stayed at this hotel before. It was earlier on this year when I'd missed the bus after a medical appointment for this neurological condition went over time, and I basically had to stay in Hobart for the night. And I didn't have my camera with me, didn't have any gear. It was a spur of the moment booking because it's close to work, and I didn't review it at the time, but I must say it was pretty bloody good. So they're going to have to do something really shithouse to feature in the lower score that you would expect from a shit hotel in Australia. But let's see how we go anyway. Must be almost beer o'clock. Cheers. what we call a commitment can. How did it get that name? Well, we were sailing in the sports boat national championships in Geelong. Sorry, in Geelong in Melbourne. And normally have a beer in between races. And one of the only beers we had were these 500ml ones. And one of my crew said, "Bloody go, takes a bit of a commitment to get through one of these cans in about 5 minutes." Hence the name, commitment can. Cheers. Now, one of the weird things about tonight here at the Ibis Styles is that there seems to be this omnipresent throbbing throughout the entire building. Now, I first thought that it might have been coming from outside, and I put my ear up against the window and thought it might have been coming from the Commonwealth building next door, and there definitely seemed to be a buzzing in the window, but back into the room seemed to be quieter. Walked out into the corridor and it seemed to be coming through the building again, all the way along the corridor, this vroom, vroom, vroom. So it's really mysterious about where this throbbing noise is coming from. So let's check out the TV, and while it says it's a smart TV, it doesn't have any smart apps, so it's a smart TV that hasn't yet been to school, but it does have all the free-to-air channels, and it has some streaming channels such as Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports 2, Fox Footy, Sky News. Yes, I'll be watching that one, and Nickelodeon. But the Wi-Fi is really fast. I don't think I need to show you how fast it is, but again, no password required to enter, so it's not secured in any way. Yeah, no fridge noise, instant coffee only, won't be doing the instant coffee test. But maybe we should check out some upkeep issues. And really, when you look around, you can't actually see any upkeep issues because this hotel really is, I think it's about 2 years old. So nothing, no wear and tear as yet, so nothing that needs to be upkept, although there is one little intriguing factor. That when you come in, the plug is actually pushed in, which is interesting, but there is an overflow. But I noticed this morning when we're shaving. Just wait for it. I think the water flow must be really, really slow, mustn't it? And it's all gone. So not so much an upkeep issue, but maybe a fit out issue.
The following day.
So one thing you will notice, particularly if you watched the last video in Canberra, is that Hobart is a significantly noisier city when it's actually smaller. And I think I worked it out why. It's because the streets are narrower and the buildings are so much closer to the side of the road, and it creates this echo effect. Whereas in Canberra, the streets are wider and buildings are set back, and you don't quite get that echo chamber that we get in here in Hobart. We also get lots more large trucks coming through the city centre. It's basically the only way to get from one side of Hobart to the other is to drive straight through the CBD, so that also contributes to it.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Now it's interesting that the confirmation email I got from the core says standard room with 1 queen size bed, 1 adult, colourful stylish rooms, features signature suite bed by Ibis Styles, never miss a moment with free fast Wi-Fi, USB charge ports and a Samsung TV. All bathrooms have walk-in showers, no view. No view. So what's this then? And it's very interesting. So if any of you have been watching videos on my other channel, particularly those of my Pirate in Chains series about my great-great-great-grandfather James Jimmy, convict number 6071, you can see from this window alone 1, 2, 3, 4 of the places that he actually lived in following his conditional pardon after 17 years as a convict. The corner of Goulburn and Barrack Street, just up here, Moody's Row where that factory complex looks like, Barrack Street itself, and then further up Goulburn Street. And if we track further up Goulburn Street, not quite as high as Mount Wellington in the distance, but to the other hill, that's Knocklofty Hill. And Jimmy, in his later years, was known as Knocklofty Jimmy, and obviously spent a fair bit of time. So, thanks, Core. No view, but absolutely a view of 150 years of my family's history. And out of this window, we can see St Joseph Church, where Jimmy married my great-great-great-grandmother, Catherine, and just beyond that, the Supreme Court, where he was sentenced to death. Spoiler alert, they didn't execute him, they sent him to Norfolk Island. And from this window in the lift lobby, not only can you see the majestic Durton estuary almost all the way down to the Iron Pot in the south, but in relation to Jimmy, you can see St George's Church, where he was working on that hill, walking home, got run over by a vehicle just at the other end of that park, St David's Park. And some other historical sites we can see here. So we can see Salamanca Place, we can see through here the sandstone building on the hill, that's Anglesey Barracks, one of the oldest military establishments in Australia. And again, over the other side of the river, you can see the lights of Blunston Arena. And if we look further down, if you see the white building on top of Battery Point, if you go one finger to the left of that, that is where I used to live from about aged 13 through to 19.
The next day.
So now it's time for the pirate score.
Drink up me Harley Joe.
And for the Ibis Styles in Hobart. First up, cleanliness and upkeep. Well, as you can see, virtually brand new hotel. Only one issue being that plug, but that's more a fit out issue than an upkeep issue. So for cleanliness and upkeep, 5 stars. Facilities. Well, the room inside itself is actually pretty basic. Okay, it's got this little bench top, it's got a chair, it's got a kettle, but it doesn't have any cutlery, doesn't have any cooking facilities, it doesn't have anything further like that. Like even cutlery would have been handy. So for facilities, 3 stars. Add-ons. Well, it's actually pretty well fitted out. That pool looked really nice. Then there was the gym, there was a sauna, there was the laundry, obviously. There's car parking down below, limited parking, but parking nonetheless, which is not bad in a hotel in the CBD. And the restaurant, the Mr. Good Guy, which was pretty good. So yeah, so for add-ons, I'm gonna give it 4 stars. Entertainment and Wi-Fi. Well, the TV was really high definition, but as a smart TV, it wasn't actually connected to anything. So, although I tell a lie, I did have those Fox Sports channels. So if I didn't have KO on my app, I would have been able to watch the Big Bash, which starts next week. Go Hurricanes, and be able to watch that on 7mate or 7.2 and or on Fox Sports. But apart from that, Wi-Fi not secured, so entertainment Wi-Fi, I'm going to give it 3 stars. Bed and bath. Okay, the bed was fine. The pillow was a little bit firm, although this polyalgic rheumatica that's linked to my GCA might be the cause of my stiff neck rather than the pillow itself. Bath was good. The shower head was a little bit weird in the way that it pointed, but I love that sort of raindrop shower head. Must have a proper name for it. Not a fan of the dispensers for soap in particular, but couldn't really fault it. So bed and bath, 4 stars. Service. I'm only staying here 2 nights, so I didn't expect the room to be serviced. But no, it was. Bed made, bathroom cleaned, towel replacement, bath mat not replaced. It's an interesting one, but nevertheless. Service at the front counter, very nice, very friendly, helpful. So service, 4 stars. And what used to be the better than home bonus, which is now just the bonus. Did I get to sleep without earplugs? Well, you can still hear that thrumming noise. I mean, I didn't hear any traffic noise, I must admit. I'm on the opposite side to the traffic. But that weird thrumming, booing noise that seems to be coming from outside, like when you're sitting in the bathroom on the dunny with the door closed, you can't hear the noise, but when you're in the room, you can. When you're in the corridor, you can. When you're in the lift foyer, you can. So I don't know where that's coming from, but anyway, because of that noise, yes, earplugs in, unfortunately, so no bonus. So that's a total score for the Ibis Styles Hotel in Hobart of 23 out of 30. And I told you at the beginning it probably wasn't going to be a shit hotel, and it's probably unfortunate that that's the title of the channel, because this hotel is not shit by any means.
One debt to society later.
So, it's just after 4 p.m. I'm making the dash for the bus. Yep, that's right, 4 p.m. So with the bus getting in at 9:15 and leaving at 9 minutes past 4, it's not actually possible to do an entire day's work, even only a 7.5 hour day's work, and catch public transport from the far south. Just another thing that us regional and remote people have to put up with. So that's the end of our sojourn in Hobart, brought to you by the NBN Co. Thanks NBN Co. Your lack of service has resulted in this trip to the wonderful city of Hobart. Yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, click like, click subscribe, and we'll see you somewhere in a shit hotel of Australia. Thanks for watching. And irony of ironies, even after the NBN was restored, just as I was editing this video, what happens?